So good morning, eh? Good morning, everybody. So like Srikanth was saying, long time back when I was the marketing head of Domino's, and maybe I spent the first few minutes on pizzas. And when we were facing Pizza Hut, which was a much bigger company, we were also a challenger brand then, and we took an audacious call and said that, let me change the way pizza is consumed and ordered and increase the excitement by introducing the 30-minute off-free guarantee. It worked very well for us. Uh, in a few years, we became the biggest pizza company in India. The company went public. Today, Domino's is the second largest operations worldwide for Domino's after the US. But I think what really helped us was an approach where we were truly a challenger brand. And we did many things which conventional companies would not do. Because at that time, for us to grow, it meant that I first cut myself, make myself more efficient and market ready, and then spring up higher. We have somewhat of a similar approach here today in paints. Although pizza and paints are two different things. You can eat one, you cannot eat the other. But the paint market, and which made me come back to India about 3 years ago, is a phenomenal market. But I think 3 years back when Mr. Birla announced that Aditya Birla Group will enter the paints industry, I think there was a very solid reasoning. And the fact was that there was a massive opportunity. The market had a very strong and dominant market leader and a couple of other very old established players. But Aditya Birla Group believed that there was enough space to create a very second large player in the market. When I joined the company about 2 years, 10 months back, what was very clear is that the market development, which should have taken place in paints, had not happened. Many other industries in India had evolved, become more consumer-centric, but paints had, probably because of the strong monopolies that enjoyed by the few players, had continued to work in a particular manner. So the challenge for Birla Opus, and Birla Opus as a name was only disclosed earlier this year when we launched ourselves. But the challenge in front of Birla Paints was that how do you refresh this category and how do you earn the trust of the channel and the consumers? Paints is a B2C category, but there is a very strong influence of B2B because all the contractors and painters who actually do the task play a significant role in both shaping the dealer and in shaping the end consumer, because the consumer usually doesn't deal with this category very often. The consumer would probably deal with this category maybe once in 5 years, 6 years, which is also something which we will break, but that's a different story. So when we devised our challenger strategy, that how do you make a mark in the paints market, which is so well entrenched. If you read analysts, and I meet a lot of analysts these days, we are currently in the closed period, but in the open period, when we meet investors and conferences, there's a lot of curiosity, there are a lot of questions in terms of what are you doing and why are you so confident that you will win. And we are very confident that the approach that we have, give or take a bit of time here and there, is a very solid path. And what we have publicly declared to be a 10,000 crore company in 3 years is something which we take very seriously and have absolute plans and intention to achieve that. So when we made our plans to be a challenger brand, we made our plans on the basis of a 5D model. So, you have a 4P of marketing, but we had a 5D model, and the 5D model, as we talk about, is based on, how do you design, how do you deliver, how do you distribute, how do you disrupt, and how do you delight. So let me spend a few minutes on each of these 5Ds, which will basically define the genesis of our challenger brand strategy. So the first D, which is design, is, you have to design your products. A lot of paint companies say that at the end of the day, the chemistry is the same. But in Birla Opus, we realized that unless you have products which are superior, which are differentiated, and which are also unique in terms of chemical composition, it will be difficult for competition to copy you or to improve you, which is why more than 3 years back, we set up a brand new R&D in Mumbai. The R&D today is housed with about 120 scientists. So these products have been more than 3 years in the making. We have made and developed our original emulsions. We have developed our original resins, which is why the paint products which we have produced are superior in terms of quality. There are many features, and the average end consumer like you might not be able to differentiate these features so well because you are not so close to the category. But what happens when the influencers, which means the painters and contractors who use this category, are immediately able to tell you that this product is good. And let me give you a few examples. So we did a lot of research along with, but if I talk about features, I have a product, a luxury product, where when you pull the furniture along the wall, there is no scratching. So there are no scuff marks. I have economy and premium products where with the same 1 liter of product, you get coverage, which is about 15 to 20% more. So imagine for a value-seeking consumer or a value-seeking painter and contractor when you're able to cover more wall, and these are all tested and proven. We also designed something for the painter. Painters complain to us when they paint, you have a lot of spatter coming on them, and they take half an hour or 20 minutes every evening to clear themselves up and clear the ground. So we made paints which are spatter-proof. So there is no sprinkling of paint which comes on them. And the painters are delighted. The painters are saying that, listen, with Birla Opus, not only do I get 10% paint extra because we have come with the first, Horlicks Bonvita kind of offer where you get 1 liter free on 10 liters. They say not only do I get more paint, and that is always white, so say that I get, the ceilings are always white. They say I get free paint to do my ceiling. On top of that, they say that with 4 buckets, earlier I could complete 4 rooms. With your paint, I can complete 5 rooms. And then they say that your covering is so good that places where I need to apply the paint thrice, I'm able to manage it twice. So they're able to make profit, which is about 20 to 25% more. They save that much money. So as a challenger brand, from a design point of view, our R&D has been an amazing contribution, and we continue to do a lot of research. There is a long funnel of new products, which will also delight the market, and we will also talk about it. So that was the first D. The second D was deliver. See, what is important in paint, and there are many paint companies who have come and gone. Sherwin-Williams, the largest paint company in the world, entered India about 12, 15 years ago, but is now nearly gone. We also have Jotun, another large company, but they haven't been able to make a mark. See, the dealers in the paint industry are so well entrenched that you have to earn their trust. And when will they start trusting you as a challenger brand? They will start trusting you when they are sure. Because their biggest need in paint is that you should be able to provide me the product that I need at the right time and at the shortest possible service time. Now, paint as a category is complex because you have more than thousands of SKUs, because each product comes in 4 or 5 bases, and bases are different shades of product. And then you pick up a base, and with colorants at a dealer shop, you convert them into more than 2,000 shades. So it is important that you should be able to service a particular size, and usually paint cans come in, 1 liter, 4 liter, 10 liter, 20 liter, and then 4 bases. So you have one product, but you have 40 plus SKUs of that particular product. And a painter or a contractor will want only one of those 40. And like this, you will have 150 products. So you can imagine the complication. It's not possible for a dealer to keep all those products in adequate quantities at his shop. So his point is, if I call up the depot, you need to be able to give it to me immediately. How do you build that confidence? That confidence can only be built if you have manufacturing across India. So on day 1, we decided and declared that we're going to be investing 10,000 crores, not in phases, in one shot. 10,000 crores in one shot to set up 6 greenfield manufacturing factories. And we have greenfield manufacturing factories coming up in 6 parts of India. The one in Ludhiana, Panipat, near Chennai are already functional. The ones near Mahad in Pune and near Mysore in Bangalore are also functional, and they will get formally announced. And the one in West Bengal and Kharagpur is also 80% done. So the point is, by announcing this and by already setting up these factories, the whole industry got a lot of confidence that Aditya Birla Group is extremely serious. Because once when you put 10,000 crores on the ground, there is no going back. Because then you will have to invest even more to make it successful. So the dealers got a lot of confidence that, we've had another large group based out of Karnataka. They've just put one factory, a capacity of 120 million liter. Our capacity is 11 times theirs. So the seriousness with which the trade looked at us was phenomenal. They said, okay, you guys are here to deliver. And that has helped us open many, many doors because we are now improving our service levels. We have a large portfolio and dealers want to buy us. Not with the massive challenges of the paint industry dealers is that they have to keep a lot of stock and then there's a lot of undercutting and hence the margin that they make is very less and the return on capital employed is non-efficient. So as a challenger brand, my proposition of giving a smaller machine, which is easier, or the fact that I'm giving all these machines free is a part of my large capex plan. But the ability to tell what is being sold out is a great proposition because then, he's happy that I will sell him what sells and he will probably do the same business with me by only keeping 60% of what he keeps of the other brand. So this distribution strategy of 150 depots, 6,000 towns, again an audacious challenge, but we have and I will come to the people aspect last, which is actually out of the 5 Ds, 6 Ds. We've set up a large team to do that. But the distribution aspect is something which is absolutely amazing. On disruption, we worked a lot with the intermediate channel, which is the contractors and painters. We've created an absolutely new program for them. They all have apps to scan on points, loyalty plans, insurances for them, training for contractors, painters. I have made a disruptive plan where in 30 seconds, they can scan a can of paint, earn money, and directly credit it to their bank account. Or they can accumulate points. So this is being done by the industry, but a lot of this, for example, direct debit, actually if they want, they can debit, they can also credit 10 rupees to their bank account based on the scans. So this whole contractor program or working with them, we've set up training academies for them. These are all new training academies, a lot of new products which we have got, developing. We had already connected with more like 3 lakh painters even before we had launched. The fact that we had a sales team on the ground for 2 years even before we launched as a challenger, something that helped us very much. And a lot of the paint dealers told us, आप तो 2 साल दूर हो launch से, आपके इतने team already ground पे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं? But they now realize the fact that when you do your homework properly, that homework actually really works very well. The 5th D, which is delight, is all about the consumer game. So we want the consumer to look at the paint category a bit like a fast-moving consumer category. While we don't think that the consumer is going to paint his house every year, but the frequency with which he will interact with the brand is going to be much more. We have implemented what you call is a unique track and trace system. This track and trace system, through sophisticated backend technology, tells a can of paint in a journey till it ultimately lands on your wall. So when the paint is applied on your wall, I will be able to tell you that this paint was manufactured in Panipat on 14th July at 3 p.m. batch. This kind of chain of track and trace is not available with any organization because they have not had the technology. When you build legacy technologies, it becomes more difficult to start putting things one on top of the other. Well, how will this help me? This will help me give much stronger warranties, guarantees, and you will see in the future, the fact that we have this sophisticated track and trace program, we will really leverage it. We have set up what you call brand new paint experience stores and franchise stores. Excuse me. We already have a lot of franchise stores in Bangalore. I don't know, our regional head Satish is here, but we probably have already got about more than 10 franchise stores. And just after this meeting, I will visit our new experience store, which is very close by, and all of you can go and check it out. How do you make the consumer's experience of dealing with paints more convenient? How do you help in sophisticated visualization of your house? A lot of things to delight the customer has been done where dealing with paint becomes easier. How do I ensure that the customer gets regular updates on his paint job? So my consumer app, my digital web platform, all have been designed to really enhance this experience, for the end consumer. The other thing is, how do consumers view paints? We debated, and the first advertisement that we put on paint was actually a Pixar animation film. The paint industry is used to communicating paints in the same manner. You see an ad of competitor A, B, C. You will usually see a house and you will see paint and something happening. And people are not able to relate. But today, anyone who's seen our first Birla Opus commercial with a colorful boy running around has no doubt that this is Birla Opus. There is no misattribution with competitor A or B. We're going to be launching new commercials very soon, and you will see that how we will now build on what we have done before. And this, again, will be very uniquely said in a very different manner. So from a consumer delight point of view, we're trying to make sure that not only are our products great, but the manner in which we communicate with the customer. And the dealer is also very happy because the dealer sees that here is a company which is solid, extremely big, but behaving like a startup and going out of its way to serve us. Many of the dealers are saying that, we need to learn to put our money in two banks because that's where the future lies. So one bank is the large existing company and the other big bank is you. So how dealers, so they're also trading their growth. So for a challenger brand like me, it makes a lot of sense because if I'm able to make a dent in the market and all the large dealers and the mid-sized dealers and the small dealers, they start believing that dealing with Birla Opus is not an alternative. I have to deal with them, I have to secure my business because these guys are going to take growth. And for every 3 salespeople of competition that they see in the market, they see 4 from Birla Opus. So they know that, we have the feet on street to do that. So, this was like the 5D model, but I think I would also want to emphasize that we have created an organization and leadership which also talks what we intend to deliver. Now, it's easier said than done, and obviously as a new company, there will be challenges, but we have a large organization. All the people have been hired in the last 3 years, and obviously a majority of them been hired in the last 1 year. 99% of the people that we have hired have come from outside the Aditya Birla Group. So we are an absolutely young, new organization. Apart from that, how many people have we hired from the paint industry? The majority of the people that we have hired from the paint industry are largely in R&D and manufacturing where you need specific knowledge. But there also we have tried to hire people from other industries. Otherwise, in the front end functions of sales, marketing, HR, CX, 80% of the people have come from other industries. They've come from FMCG, durables, telecom, e-commerce. So we've actually created an organization which, while enclosed in a very large group, but our chairman, he himself calls Birla Opus like a very scaled startup. That you are a company with a very large scale from a size point of view and people and infrastructure point of view. We already are much larger than many of the large companies. But you need to have the soul of a startup because you have an ambition that you have set up which is challenging and you need to work that much more harder in the market. And I think that's where we have a great team. But where I would like to, really put is that to be a challenger brand is good to say, but you really need to back it up with a lot of actions. And many of the challenger brands, as Srikanth said, will not have 3x the resources. We also don't have 3x the team of the market leader, but we have a large team. We have a competent team, and we have enough and adequate resources. But what we are very sure is that both the quantity and the quality of the initiatives that we have and the new thinking that we are bringing is showing a success in the market, and which is why we're very confident that we'll be a successful challenger brand. and our objectives of being a 10,000 crore company in the third year of operations, something which we have publicly declared and publicly reiterated, will most likely come true. Thank you.
So I request you to kindly stay on stage because we have a small token of appreciation for all of you from the afaqs family. So let's welcome Mr. Shrikant to kindly join us on stage to hand over the token of appreciation, please. Thank you so much for your time, sir. Thank you so much for your insights. Quickly, let's have the proud token of appreciation. Do we have Mr. Satish with us?
Like I said, we go to the experience store.
Do you see a lot of, I'll just ask you one.
Yeah.
Are there a lot of regional disparities when it comes to paint?
No, there are regional disparities. So there are some companies which are stronger. Some places there is a difference in consumption. Kerala is a massive market for exterior paints. Gujarat is a massive market for interior paints.
It's all weather related.
No, not only weather related, also human emotion. In Kerala, everybody wants to show their house is great.
Okay.
From the outside. So it depends. That's what we understand. Okay, if it's going to take a time, no issues.
Meanwhile, does anybody have any questions for Mr. Hargave?
We can take 1-2 questions. Yes, we have. Yes, yes.
Wow, a lot of questions. Lady in the center, you were the first one, so please. Could you identify yourself and then ask the question briefly?
Yeah. My name is Vijaya Lakshmi. I am an entrepreneur, IT coach and a trainer. And whatever the insight sir has given today, it's really valuable, 5 Ds. So because he is coming from a painting background, painting industry, he quoted that example. But that whatever information he shared, selflessly he has shared his knowledge. I'm really thankful to him. Okay. We can apply that for any domain, irrespective of any domain.
Okay.
So we can find a success.
All right.
So thank you for that valuable lessons.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have a question? A specific question, please. A gentleman there to your right. Yeah.
Hello. Sir, you are given, before launching, it concerns to me also. I am a shareholder in Grasim. You have entered very late. There are leaders like Asian Paints and all, which is established. People have normally, they have a brand. How you are going to compete with your competitors like Asian Paints, Nerolai, so on? What will be your market share down the line another 10 years, 20 years? Thank you.
So, 10 years or 20 years is a very long time. But I can tell you that we are competing because we are also building a brand. And I know that to become a top of the mind brand is going to take some time. But with the investments that we are doing both on the ground and on media and in terms of consumer experience, you will gradually see us being a very strongly mentioned brand. And research that we are putting through is already showing that after 6 months, in terms of spontaneous awareness, I'm already very great. But yeah, the fact is that we have entered the market late. It's a fact. We are not there in the market a year ago. That's a fact. So we don't have a choice. But I think there are many advantages, like I told you, of being a player who comes in late. And there are disadvantages also. So we will make the most of all our advantages. And whatever are disadvantages, we will try and overcome them. But the fact is the market is big. See, the paint market is 80,000 crores. It's literally growing in double digits every year. So there is enough space for everybody. And all of us can grow at the same time. But we will take our disproportionate share in a rapid period of time.
Lucky all of you, because I think we've delayed something. You get a chance to ask questions. Lady here in white. But keep the question short, please. We really don't have time. Quickly.
Am I audible?
Yeah, please. Could you ask?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Megha. I am business head for First Economy, which is a marketing agency. Just a quick intro. So I was listening very keenly to all the 5 Ds that you mentioned. 4 of them cater to the influencers or the middlemen and how they will influence the entire sales cycle. And one of them, which was your experience centers and your the mobile app for the consumers. Now, looking at the exposure that consumers have in terms of social media and all, they are also taking very, very keen interest in these kind of decisions in terms of what cement, what paint, what that entire thing. How?
Please, question, please.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So how would you? Is there a need to change the strategy for brands like you to focus more on consumers, and if so, then how will you do that?
So I didn't mention social media, but we have the heaviest social media presence also. So we are there everywhere. So you have to obviously attack the end consumer. See, the decision making of a paint, what to apply, is a combination between the influencer and the end consumer, and you can't do without the other. So we are putting adequate resources behind both. You can't ignore the
So we'll just take last 1-2 questions because we are half an hour running out.
Just one
other. Just last question.
Yeah, we'll just take one question. He'll be around. Well, please feel free to network with him later.
You give it to him. Okay, somebody has it, please. Quickly, please.
Hi, what's your strategy to collect the last mile data if it's not sold with connected machines?
I didn't get your question.
What's your strategy to collect the last mile data if it is not sold with the connected machines, as you said? You said you
no,
collect last mile
See,
data with the connected machines, right?
See, it's like this. So tinting machine is one. The other is when a contractor scans for points. The other innovation that I've done is that consumers only give scans. I mean, other companies give scans only on the 10 liter and 20 liter packs. I have given QR codes also on the smaller retail packs, 4 liters and 1 liter. And they all have some money encoded. Whenever a contractor buys a can, he scans it because he wants to take point. When he scans, I know exactly that can was brought from which dealer, the scanning is happening in which geolocation. So I have the whole data, and I don't need to depend on the tinting machine. And I can actually tell this was bought from dealer Ramji Das on Wednesday. So I have that kind of data. Obviously, the IT is developing, but the last mile data is available for the dealer also from the tinting machine, but also from the contractor scanning.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.